everyone. I had 4 ounces of craft resin left in my bottle, so I decided to mix it up and figure out what projects I can do or what I can make with it. So I have this mold, and then I have one I'm going to do off camera. This one I went ahead and painted the sides with teal chameleon powder. My plan is to do inclusions on the back, and I don't know if you've seen my video where I did the iridescent film. I wasn't super happy with that one. It's just a short on YouTube, but the backing didn't seem to match my bloom. So this time I'm going to try to do a better matching bloom, and I'm changing my colors as I sit here. I have to make sure they're dark enough to show through. All right, so I mentioned I had craft resin. It is warming up, and I'm currently at 31 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in my little bit of white. Do I want more? Probably don't need it, but I'll put it in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop some in this mold. I don't want to put too much or overfill it, so I'm going to let it walk there while we mix our white. And what white do I want to use today? Since my resin is warming up, I do like to use bloom when it warms up, but then my old standby is cast and craft. So I think I'm just going to do that. Based upon this amount of resin, it's maybe near an ounce. I'm going to do 6 drops, and then we'll see how it looks. 1. They're so small. The one good thing about bloom is you just need 1 drop of it. Not very much at all. You don't have to squeeze the bottle so hard. This cast and craft is just tough to get out of the bottle. All right, let's give it a good mix. I do want the white to sort of be heavy because I do want it to show through everything. Because once I put the inclusions on the back, it is a lot. So that does look wide enough. I think so. And I think it's mixed good. I don't see any strings of white. Sometimes I surprise myself and don't mix it well. All right, it looks like it didn't quite walk all the way over. So I'm going to pop in just a tiny bit more resin, just to make sure the bottom is full. And maybe it is warm, so it doesn't want to move as quickly as I want it to. All right. So I think that's enough to cover the bottom. I do want to give it a second because you want the resin to be in level and in one spot and have moved all the way that it wants to move, or else your bloom will move and your alcohol inks will move. And that has happened to me a couple times, and that's why I know to say it. I just changed the mat on my table, and I hope I leveled it right because I have a leveling table rather than measure each mold, and it usually works out okay, but sometimes. All right, so for my colors, I have picked Ranger inks, Cool Perry, and Monsoon. I didn't want anything too dark, but I do want it to be dark. You know what? I'm going to do my Monsoon first. I'm opening it to the side because it does get little crusties around the top, so I don't want to drop those in. I do want it to spread a little bit, but my resin is really thick. You can see it's sort of doing a little bit of fingering where it's struggling to move in the resin because it is thick. Someone was posting about that, I think on the craft resin page, maybe yesterday, or maybe it was today. It's all a blur. I'm wondering why her inks didn't move. And it's the ink content versus the alcohol content. Sometimes I will use Decorum inks, alcohol inks, when my resin is really thick because it has more alcohol and will move better. These have higher ink content, and it's a little trickier for them to move. But I'm not gonna let that stop me. And I mentioned in that comment that you could do something like this and move them all together. And that Cool Perry, is kind of light, so let's give it another drop. It's just a very light color. All right, so let's get our white into our piping bag. I am using a piping bag because I'm going to do a design versus just spirals. Or I haven't done a spiral bloom in a while. Just a straight spiral? Just tying it all up. And I'm just going to cut a really small tip off of the end. All right, now it's the decision time. Spiral or draw? I think I do want the backing to show a little bit, so maybe let's do a little bit of a combo. I'm going to do a spiral, but I'm going to move it around a little bit. Just kind of shake it. And I'm going to do just some maybe petal work. Hopefully that wasn't too heavy. Having a difficult time seeing. I still haven't got my lights in a good spot. All right, let me see how that's looking. I'm also looking to see how thick my white is, how much it will spread. If it's too heavy, I might get blobby, so I'm a little concerned about that. But it looks pretty good. The only thing I think is that I'm a little not as close on the side over here. I'm going to go ahead and just add a few petals. And if you think about a rose, that's how a rose is drawn, with the petals like that. So that works. All right, let me see. Maybe just one more there. One side might be a little bit more than the other. So let's kind of take this bigger one. Just add a little something. I may not have done it white enough. All right. So I think that's it. Now I'm going to take a look and say whether I want some lines also drawn, or some, I might do a little of that, but not go all the way to the center. Sometimes that helps the petals look more even and better. Just trying to do it lightly and not go into my center too much. I think that's good. Now, I did have some bits, and I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to use them or not. I do think that I've got a decent center drawn, so maybe the bits aren't needed. Let's just look at it a little bit more. You know what? I think I'm not going to add any bits. All right, I think that's all I'm going to do. We are going to come back for the inclusions. So as soon as this is set, we'll put the inclusions on. See you then. Hi everyone, we're back to do our inlay of inclusions. This is what we're using today, but I also wanted to show you what I've used in the past. So I buy these sheets, and this is what I got off of Amazon, and I don't know if you could see. It's just iridescent sheets. And you can cut those up, but you can also just crinkle them up. And then the last one in my short, this is what I did. And then I added it to the back. But we're doing it the easy way today. I do let the resin warm up because I do like it to thicken a bit. Because just anytime you add things to resin, you know, you want them to not just pop up to the top, which if your resin is really thin, it's going to pop up to the top. It's also why we're only going to do a thin layer here. So I've mixed up way too much resin. I'm not going to need it all. All I really need is like 2 ounces. So I'm going to just take 2 ounces and put it in this cup. Because I am going to mix the inclusions in with the resin. And the reason I do that is that it helps avoid bubbles. All right, so I think I got 2 ounces now. I'm like looking at my cup, how much did I have before? If you put too much resin, then that also runs the risk of it rising. So we just want to put as much as we need. These are tiny, really great to use. I'm just gonna pop them into this cup. I'm going to give it a quick stir, but not overzealous like I normally would do, like a crazy woman. If after you mix these in, you're like, oh, and you pour it into your mold and you're like, I need more, you can always add more on the top. But let's look at this. I think just a tad more. I am also going to back this with a dark color because I think that'll be cool, and which is why I'm not worried about adding too little inclusions, but I want some sparkle and shine, like adding any glitter or something. And I'm just gonna dump it in my mold. And since we are adding a back, I don't have to worry about any lumps of the iridescent pieces sticking up out of it. It'll all even out when I add the backing. And you could already tell how pretty it looks. I am going to keep an eye on it because as the resin warms, which is another reason you want to let your resin warm and thicken before you do this, it'll pull to the center. And you want to make sure some of your inclusions, you know, are on the outside. So I will keep a little look on it just to make sure it's not all sucked into the center, which happens sometimes. As I mentioned, you could also pop some of these on top and just put them on that way. And if I notice that it's all being too sucked into the center, then I'll go through and do that. But I think we'll be okay. Also, because we're not using any inks or anything, I can use my alcohol spray. This is 91%, to help get any bubbles out. But I'm going to let them work on their own first. I usually wait about 15 minutes before I check on bubbles because I like the resin to degas on its own, if at all possible. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but that's okay. So I'll keep an eye on it with resin. Sometimes you just have to babysit it, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'll use my spray as needed. I probably am going to do a deep blue back. If I do that, I'm not going to bring you back just to watch me pour resin on it. I'll bring you back for the unmolding. All right, so I debated putting the backing on this, a dark backing, but then I thought, that looks pretty. So I didn't do a backing. I can always add one, so let's take a look what it looks like. All right. Oh, wow. That came out really cool. I don't know if the camera is catching everything, but behind the bloom, it's gorgeous. And I think the clear background is fine.